In August of 2014, the sixth annual Arts Festival Conference was held in Portland, Oregon, attended by artists and show directors from across the country. The keynote speaker was Russell Willis Taylor, President and CEO of National Arts Strategies, and she had a lot of interesting information to share with us.
And here is our first presenter today. Your name is?
Russell Willis Taylor.
And what's your official title right now?
I am president of National Art Strategies.
And is that based in the U.S.?
It's based in Alexandria, Virginia.
And you live in Virginia?
I do. I live in Charlottesville, Virginia.
Okay. Well, so you gave a wonderful talk today about this. I can even generalize the state of the arts, or what was the title of it was?
A new and not so new role for the arts.
Okay. And you talked about Daniel Pink's book and about the right brain. Tell me what about that.
Well, it was really, I'm interested in a lot of Daniel Pink's work. But I'm particularly interested, if we think about the value that the arts create, value is always created in a context. And I really like his taxonomy of the kind of three stages of society. The industrial, which was, for over 100 years, made for our working lives were more mechanized, time cards. The arts had a different role in people's lives because they provided something that was other. They provided something that was, if you like, an antidote to mechanization. Particularly the performing arts provided a leisure activity that would speak to people for, in some ways, different reasons than why people would be interested in them today. And then you had knowledge economy. It's another distinction he draws.
And that starts about when?
And knowledge workers, that would be, I think he starts in about the 60s maybe. And knowledge workers, are maybe the 70s. Knowledge workers, the arts are important to them because they help define what tribe you're in, if you like. If you're a knowledge worker, it's a creative outlet for you. But it's very much about what your affinity and your affiliations are. So if you're a symphony person, if you're a contemporary art person, in the age of the knowledge worker, you're choosing which way you enhance your ability to be a knowledge worker, but you're also defining your identity. And then we're now in the conceptual age. And one of the things that the arts can help us do is to draw connections between very disparate types of information. We are besieged by information now. And I like what Thomas Campbell, who's the director of the Metropolitan Museum of Art, says that arts organizations are the quiet cars of our age. So one of the things that arts and culture does now is to help us reflect and to help us sort, if you like, a lot of information in a conceptual age.
One of the things that I found really interesting when you were talking, this is a not quite so conceptual an idea, is that there's so much information out there now, and because of social media, and yet you said so much of it was excellent. Because we usually hear it's just more direct. So what did you find?
Well, I think it's really convenient for us to think that all this stuff that's out there that represents competition, that most of it's bad. I haven't seen enough of it to know if all of it's bad or not. There's a lot of really interesting work going on with people who have chosen these free platforms or nearly free platforms because they are professionally oriented, but they don't work with the resources of an institution.
Right.
I think some of this work is both conceptually and technically incredibly accomplished. It would be nice for us to say, oh, it's all junk, but it's not all junk.
Those YouTube
YouTube
videos
has 500 channels now. And more and more professional filmmakers are turning to that distribution network as a way of creating small amounts of product and letting people sample it. It's only a matter of time before long-form artwork starts appearing. Distribution of visual images using new technologies that are available. You're filming me
Yes.
on a phone.
Yes.
20 years ago, to do what you're doing right now, we'd have to be in a studio. So that would limit the number of people.
And guess who's going to get to see this there? Because my phone rang just as we were talking about the technology.
Remember when phones were just phones? Who remembers
Right,
that?
right.
I can't take a picture. I don't have my phone with me. It would have been a statement that it would have been a surreal theater statement 20 years ago. But what I was saying is, what the new technologies do is they remove the barrier of extraordinary resource for people who want to distribute their work
That's
and
right.
create their work.
That's right. And when you think about street theater and people dancing in the streets and all of that, and those are people untrained, whatever, except they've seen it elsewhere, and that's
Right.
been put on
Right.
YouTube, and then it gets distributed.
Right.
So
Right.
it's like brings the technology, what would have been very complicated,
Right. And
down
expensive.
to, yes, down to me. I think I paid $90 for this phone.
Right. And
Okay.
is it the same? Is this interview the same as, I've never been invited to be on Good Morning America, but is this the same as Good Morning America? No. But here's the difference. You potentially can reach as many people as Good Morning America. And that's what's different.